Alrighty, so here is an interactive study guide video for the mid-chapter test for geometry, chapter 1. So the way this is going to work is, as you can see, I have some questions already presented. I'm going to want you to pause the video, try to answer these questions, and when you think you have the answer, press play, and you can see if you're right or wrong. So go ahead and pause the video, give these ones a shot. Alrighty, so here we go. A point that's collinear with J and K, remember collinear means on the same line. So if this is JK right here, the point that's on the same line is point I. Another name for plane H, well this is plane H. So remember you can name a plane by naming 3 non-collinear points. So we have A, B, and C. Even though A and B are collinear, they're not collinear with C, so that works. Where do planes H and E intersect? Well, the intersection is where they cross over. That's going to be at this line right here, line AB. Don't forget to name a line. You can either write line AB, or you can draw the line, don't forget the arrows, over top of the letters. Again, what line is coplanar with points I, D, and F? So, we take a look at this. There's I, there's D, there's F. So 3 points, non-collinear points, they make a plane. So the line that's coplanar with it on the same plane would be line AB. Alrighty, hopefully you did well. Let's move on to questions from the next section. Okay, there's the question for this section. Give it a shot. Press play when you think you have the answer. Okay, so for the distance formula, remember we have square root absolute value x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And I recommend labeling these x1, y1 and x2, y2 so you don't get confused. From here we just plug in the numbers. Number one thing to watch out for, though, the biggest mistake that I see people make is right here we have a 4 minus negative 3. A lot of people put the 4 minus and then they think, hey, this is my negative sign, and they just put a 3 here. This x1 value is a negative 3, so you have to put that negative 3 in there. So 4 minus negative 3. Then we just simply simplify all the way down until we get square root 98. So the distance is square root 98. Now for midpoint, we take, again, the x1, x2, y1, y2s, and for our x-coordinate, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, plug in our numbers, and simplify. Now, once you get down to a fraction, you can go ahead and leave it there. If you can reduce the fraction, go for it. If it's something that's going to become an obvious whole number, such as 6 over 3 or 10 divided by 5, you can simplify it to a whole number. But something like this, 11 halves, that's fine. Leave it like that. All right, let's check out the next section. Alrighty, go ahead and do your best on this. When you think you have the answer, press play. Okay, so remember, when naming the angles, you can always name it from a point on the side, vertex, then point on the other side. Just remember, the vertex always goes in the center, and this symbol means angle. So we have angle ABC and angle CBA. You can also name it by the vertex, in this case angle B, and you can also name it by the name of the angle if you see a number, name or letter here, so in this case angle 3. Now for the sides, on this side we have ray BA. Remember, we're going to start with the vertex first, arrow to the right, and we have ray BC. So next, when I look at this angle right here, why is angle T not a valid name? In this question, we were able to call this angle angle B without a problem. Why can I not call this angle T? Press play when you think you have it. Okay, the reasoning for this is when you say angle T, this is the vertex of many angles. This is the vertex of angle QTR, RTS, and QTS. So if I just simply refer to it as angle T, it's not specific. It doesn't let someone know exactly what angle I'm referring to. Alrighty, so go ahead and give this one a shot. Press play when you think you have the answer. Alrighty, so let's go through this. So, the question's asking, it says, if the measure of ABE, which is right here, if that's this, and the measure of ABD is this, what's this going to be? Well, we know a couple things by looking at it. One, when we look at this picture, we see these arcs. When we have the same number of arcs and two angles, we know that the angles are congruent. The other thing is since they're congruent, we know that this part plus this part, it's going to equal the entire thing, and these two parts are the same. So, the measure of angle ABE is going to be equal to the measure of angle ABD plus DBE, which is written right here. Since they're congruent, I can rewrite this as saying the measure of ABE is equal to ABD plus another ABD, because these are the same size. So I just use a little substitution there. Now filling in the equations, the algebraic expressions that we were given, we have 8s minus 6 equals 2 times the sum of s plus 11 plus 2 times the sum of s plus 11. Use a little distributive property, we get 2s plus 22 plus 2s plus 22, and simplify that to 4s plus 44. We're going to remove 4 s's from both sides, and that's going to leave us with 4s minus 6 equals 44. Now we're going to add 6 to both sides. We end up with 4s equals 50. Divide both sides by the coefficient, and we find that s equals 12.5. Now we're still not done. Remember, the measure of DBE was congruent. It was equal to measure of angle ABD. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Since we know that ABD has the formula 2 times the sum of s plus 11, we're just going to pop our answer for s into that, and that measure is going to be the same measure as DBE. So we have 2s plus 22, pop in the 12.5, we end up with 25 plus 22, which gives us 47 degrees as our final answer. And if you can do all this, you should be pretty set for the test. All right, best of luck to you.